Bitcoin has not been on our radar, right? So we're not really trading Bitcoin, and the reason for that is because there's the looming distribution of Mt. Gox, right? Which generally means the fundamentals of Bitcoin for July has gone down. I'm not saying that it can't go up. I'm just thinking that other coins will probably outperform Bitcoin, which if you look at a lot of the BTC charts, they kind of, whenever things go up, they outperform Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's not necessarily doing the best to the downside either. So I'm not really interested in Bitcoin. We're not going to talk too much about it. If you had to pick a spot to buy, these are the areas that I am looking at. The lows, right? So that's 56. So maybe you take a swing here. Maybe you take a swing at it here. And then you take another swing at it down here, right? Those are the 4 areas that you should have marked out on your charts, where if prices go down to these levels, what are you going to do? You're probably going to take a sizable bet. And when I say sizable, for me, that might be maybe 4 or 5% risk, 6% maybe. And it kind of depends on what areas you're putting weight on. Right? So I'm not going to put too much weight on this. Why? Because it seems like we've been flirting with these lows for quite some time. And I don't think it's going to just touch this and reverse all the way up. I think it's very likely that if we lose these lows right here, we're probably going to go down here. So what would your risk distribution look like in this situation? It would look something like, let's say if high risk for you is 6%, you might only put 3% here, maybe 5% here, and then maybe these you'll put 6% risk, right? Which is to say, and this isn't how the math actually works, but it's approximate. If Bitcoin dropped 33%, you would only lose about 20%. And technically it's less because of how percentages work. All right, let's go on to ETH so that we can actually do some analysis, because Bitcoin is kind of dog shit. And I mean, so is ETH, by the way. ETH is also not immune to being called dog shit because it doesn't look a lot better either. I'm glad we kind of got out at the bearish retest. We assumed that it was a bearish retest because we don't know enough and we don't have enough price action to assume that this is a trend change, right? Just because prices bounce right here and it floated up doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to reclaim. These are 2 separate trades. If this came up, consolidated right here, this is a new trade. This is 1 trade, this is 2 trades. What do you think about taking a short to hedge spot? It's not a bad idea. I'm not really doing that, honestly. My only criteria is if Bitcoin loses a weekly market structure, I'm getting out. And I'm getting out of everything. And I made it very simple for myself because I feel like with spot, you're taking a very long-term approach. And I think sometimes simplicity is really good for how robust it is, right? Like when you have so many criterias that you're looking for in order to manage a trade, so many moving pieces, it becomes a lot more difficult to manage. But when it's just, okay, weekly structure on Bitcoin, the king of crypto assets, if that gets lost, I am going to close everything. And it hasn't been lost just yet. If I do close it, it would actually have to be on a weekly close below here. So this week could potentially be where I close my spot positions across the board. Obviously there's 4 days, 3 hours, so we'll see. I'm strictly talking about spot. I'm not even in leverage positions. Even if we go back to low 50s, you wouldn't be buying / rebuying spot? No, I would, but I would sell the spot that I have right now and I rebuild positions. Yeah, dude, I'm starting to think that we might have actually topped. The bears are starting to get to me. This is not a good 3-day chart. This is not a good weekly chart. And this is definitely not a good monthly chart either. So for me, this kind of does look like we're about to get rinsed even harder. I'm starting to entertain the idea, because we're so close to getting invalidated on our weekly levels, that wow, what if we just topped and we have a long-ish sort of a long drawn out pullback, right, where Bitcoin just kind of goes this way and it doesn't go down this low, right? Maybe it just comes down here, right? Maybe it just comes down here to the 40,000 area. Who knows? That's kind of why I like to take Bitcoin level to level, because it's a lot easier to trade that way. And I'm not going to be bearish and short on anything until it loses a weekly level, right? So for me, that's right here. Daily structures still look okay. Like, it doesn't look that bad. It's just at the lows and you want to see a reaction right here, right? When you're at support, you want to actually see prices supporting, like you want to see buyers buying. So I'm not necessarily counting out that the market is over, but it's getting close. It's getting close and it's a little scary, and I understand why everyone's scared. Bitcoin's at 60K, been at 60K for a couple days. The pump that we had was short-lived, sucks. But yeah, WIF, ooh, jeez. Dude, WIF looks bad, damn. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if we take WIF because structure-wise, it doesn't look that good. The bounce might be very small. It might bounce to like $2, which, you know, it's more volatile than Solana. Yeah, man, I don't know where you'd place your stop loss, honestly, which is why this is a little bit harder to trade. A lot of people look at a certain coin and they're like, well, if it bounces, I can make 10%. I'm not sure where you would put your stop loss here. I guess you can argue this is the low of the structure. Like this was the retest right here of this. So maybe you can put it below here, but man, it's hard, it's hard. Somebody said BONK looks better than WIF. I think they both look like dog shit, but yes, BONK looks slightly better than WIF, but like slightly better smelling dog shit is still dog shit. Yeah, I think a smart thing to do is just stay away from most memes. I would try not to trade this. This looks like it wants to go lower. It's tough, man, it's tough. Because people buy meme coins not for, you know, this. You're not looking to buy meme coins to make 15%. You might as well just size up a little bit more on Ethereum or size up a little bit more on Solana and get the same percentages that you would off of a meme coin. You buy meme coins because they do shit like this. They go up 300%. They do things like 590%. That's why you buy meme coins. You don't buy meme coins for 15%. That's a weird way of thinking, you know? So don't buy BONK. POPCAT doesn't look good. I would be careful, yeah. This looks like this kind of structure, you know? I would actually look for a short. I'm actually gonna set up an alert if we ever come back up here. I almost want to start shorting the meme coin stuff if we get a bounce. Again, I'm actually thinking that if we get bearish retest on the daily, right? Because we saw bearish retest on the 4 hours, right? Like we had bearish retest multiple times on the 4 hour, like from right here, right? Came back up, retested it. So if we get another push up right here, this is actually a short.